Friends, sisters, Father Nathaniel on this fourth Sunday of Advent, little homily for you. How do you deal with the non-ideals of your life, the non-ideal circumstances? It's kind of a cool, windy day today like this, time of the year where I usually head home to visit my family. At some point last year when I was traveling home, I'll never forget, we got on the runway at Chicago O'Hare Airport and they made that announcement, you know, folks, we're such and such in line for takeoff, and this time it was number 35. 35 in line for takeoff. And so we waited for an hour to get up to first in line, and then they said, well, folks, good news is that we're first in line to take off. Bad news is we used up so much fuel waiting in line that we gotta go back and refuel. It was really a funny moment, but also kind of like an impatient, sad moment for most on the plane. And then we had to get back in line to take off. So it was one of those like just non-ideal moments. It reminds us, I think, in this time of Advent, of the non-ideals in our life. Some are serious, some are funny. Now, when we look at the gospel today, we of course hear about Mary being pregnant out of wedlock, unexpectedly. Not a good situation, it seems, socially, historically, culturally at the time. You could be stoned for that. But especially Joseph comes to the forefront this time in the gospel. Joseph, who was so enamored of Mary, couldn't wait to be together. And think about that all of a sudden she's pregnant, he's going to have to let her go. The angel appears, says to marry her, but yet he's going to be celibate. He's going to not have that intimacy with her. He's going to take care of another child, a different child that's not his, per se. Then the non-ideals of having to go to Bethlehem all of a sudden, the non-ideals of be born in a cave, there's no room in the inn. And then especially imagine having to jump up in the middle of the night and run to Egypt because your child is going to be killed by Herod. Tons of non-ideals, humanly speaking. And yet God reminds us that he works through those non-ideals. He permits them for a bigger reason. And so in our lives, what are the non-ideals? Remember, God doesn't play games with us. He doesn't want us to suffer, for example. Maybe today, what are you struggling with? A suffering, a cancer of sorts, or a sickness? Being betrayed by someone, a broken friendship, a separation in your marriage, children that are having difficulty, friends that unfriended you on Facebook, a good friend that doesn't want to be with you anymore, not making the sports team, or whatever it might be. You know, we all have non-ideals in our life, circumstances we wish would disappear, we wish would go away, we wish would be fixed. And we can't imagine how they can somehow play a part in our life. And yet God says this Christmas, I think to you and me both, that he wants to be born in those non-ideal circumstances. He doesn't want us to hide them, doesn't want us to run away from them, doesn't want us to wish them away as if they never existed, but rather those are the Bethlehems, those are the mangers, the caves where he wants to be born this Christmas. So I would invite you, brothers and sisters, that if you really want to have the best Christmas of your life, let's this Christmas open up those caves in our heart. Let's give him all that space that he really wants in us. Let's not turn away, remembering that he came exactly for those things that make up the real you today, not the fake you, not the you that you like project on the world, but the you that you are today. He wants to be born there and to bring his love and his mercy, his light and his joy this Christmas season into your heart exactly in those places, so that all of you can rejoice as a son of God, as a daughter of God. So yes, our life is filled with, humanly speaking, non-ideals, moments and circumstances, realities, but yet those are the places where the Lord wants to be born this Christmas. So let's give them to him. Let's receive him in the Eucharist. Let's ask for his blessing. And may God bless us each this coming Christmas and prepare our hearts for the coming of Christ. May God bless you.